American history under this administration. And I want to get even more specific. In the last 4 years, this administration has carried out an unprecedented attack and campaign against people of faith. If you look at the numbers, we've never seen anything like it before in American history. It has been one of the most disgraceful chapters in the history of the Justice Department and in the history of the FBI. And I hope that you will reverse this and do right by every American citizen, including especially people of faith.
Hey everyone, today we're diving into a critical issue that's been making headlines: the treatment of Americans based on their religious beliefs. Since the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision, we've seen over 100 pregnancy care centers and 300 churches attacked, vandalized, and even firebombed. These aren't just numbers, they're spaces of worship, support, and solace for millions. Yet in all these cases, the Department of Justice has pursued only 2 prosecutions. Meanwhile, pro-life demonstrators have faced a wave of prosecutions. Take Mark Houck from Pennsylvania. The DOJ sent an FBI SWAT team to his home, terrorizing his family. In the end, he was acquitted because the case had no basis. This raises a serious question: is there a deliberate bias against certain religious and ideological beliefs?
Like it before in American history. It has been one of the most disgraceful chapters in the history of the Justice Department and in the history of the FBI. And I hope that you will reverse this and do right by every American citizen, including especially people of faith. Let me give you some specifics. After the Dobbs case was decided by the Supreme Court, over 100 pregnancy care centers and over 300 churches in this country were attacked, vandalized, firebombed. Do you happen to know off the top of your head how many prosecutions Merrick Garland's Justice Department brought in those cases?
I do not, Senator.
It's a stunning number. It's 2. Hundreds of churches, hundreds of pregnancy care centers. And I might just add, these pregnancy care centers, the attacks on them, which were violent, which were gruesome, were egged on and encouraged by rhetoric from members of Congress, including members of this body, who have said that pregnancy care centers aren't real medicine, that they're not real doctors. They have legitimized these attacks. And the same thing was true of churches. And this Justice Department couldn't lift a finger to defend these Americans, but at the same time, they used legislation, a law known as the FACE Act, to prosecute at least 53 different pro-life demonstrators, including people like Mark Houck from Pennsylvania, to whom this Justice Department sent a SWAT team to his door in the early morning hours. He has, I think, 7 children. In the early morning hours, an FBI SWAT team shows up at his door to take him into custody and prosecute him. By the way, he was acquitted. This kind of outrageous, disparate treatment has to end. So here's my question to you. Will you protect churches and pregnancy care centers when they are targeted for violence, when they are targeted for intimidation, when their members or parishioners are threatened with violence or other acts of illegal behavior?
Yes, Senator.
Will you stop the disparate treatment of Americans on the basis of religious faith?
Yes, Senator.
Will you stop the deliberate persecution of pro-life Americans for nothing more than their pro-life beliefs?
Yes, Senator.
Will you ensure that nothing like the Mark Houck case happens again, that Americans do not have SWAT teams arriving on their front doors with armed weapons to terrorize their children and their spouses, only in the end, of course, to have the case lost because there was nothing to it? Will you put an end to that kind of deliberate intimidation of the good American citizens on the basis of their religious beliefs?
Yes, Senator.
I'm glad to hear you say that because we need it. We need it.
And it doesn't stop there. A memo from the FBI's Richmond field office revealed plans to recruit informants and infiltrators into Catholic parishes. Yes, you heard that right. Catholic parishes targeted for surveillance. But there's some hope on the horizon. Newly nominated officials like Miss Bondi are pledging to investigate these abuses and end this kind of persecution. She's committed to stopping disparate treatment based on religious faith and ensuring equal protection for all Americans. Her promise is encouraging, but actions will speak louder than words. Religious freedom is a cornerstone of our democracy, but the events we've discussed today show just how fragile it can be. If you found this discussion insightful, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let's keep this dialogue going. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the issues shaping our society. Together, we can demand better for everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.